Welcome, everyone. For those that are out in the lobby, if you want to come in, now is the time to come in. Or no? Just they want to stay out there? Anyone want to come in? You're just gonna, I see Finch, you're just staring at me through the glass. Okay, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you. Welcome, everyone. You have made it to Tuesday, June 16th. Meeting is now called to order. We're going to do roll call, Tracy.
Councilmember Brandon Whedon,
Present.
Councilmember Angela Jefferson,
I'm present.
Councilmember Joan Cathy. Can you hear us, Joan?
Can we see Joan?
No, she has her camera off.
Can we see Eileen?
It's disabled. It says the host disabled the camera.
We didn't know how to tell you both. We we will work on that. Thank you so much. It was great to hear your voice, Eileen. You're present. We are going to assume Joan is present. She's online, and it's just delayed gratification for those in our audience to see your faces.
Councilmember Megan Sullivan,
She is excused.
Councilmember Peter Agabi,
Present.
Councilmember Kelly Von Holtz,
Present.
Mayor Lietta Dahlhoff.
And I am still here. Please join us in the pledge. Thank you, everyone. Tracy, do you need Lance to help you with some tech? Okay, on its way, Tracy. Thank you so much. We are going to move on to item 4A, special items, proclamation, Juneteenth, June 19, 2026, and we have Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz.
Thank you, Mayor. Proclamation. Whereas our country is made up of people from every nation on earth who are declared equal, not only in freedom, but also in justice, both of which are essential for a healthy human civilization. And whereas on January 1st, 1863, using his war powers as president, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, providing that all persons held as slaves shall be thenceforward and forever free. The Emancipation Proclamation made the permanent abolition of slavery and provided the legal framework for the emancipation of nearly 4 million slaves in states that had seceded from the United States. And whereas on June 19th, 1865, nearly 9 decades after our nation's founding and more than 2 years after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, enslaved African Americans in Galveston, Texas, finally received word that they were free. And whereas celebration of Juneteenth began June 19th, 1866, with parades, cookouts, prayer gatherings, musical performances, and historical cultural readings. As freed families immigrated away from Texas, they carried the Juneteenth celebration with them, commemorating Juneteenth with celebrations across the country. And whereas Juneteenth is a day of profound significance, slavery has left a catastrophic and unrelenting legacy of trauma for generations of African Americans, also known as Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, Liberation Day, and Emancipation Day. Juneteenth is a holiday that celebrates the emancipation of slavery and a day that reminds us of our incredible capacity to heal, hope, and emerge from our darkest moments with purpose, resolve, and unity. Now, therefore, Lietta Dahlhoff, Mayor of the City of Tumwater, does hereby proclaim June 19th, 2026, Juneteenth, and calls to all the people of Tumwater to join together on Juneteenth to reflect on the past, to commit together to continue to eradicate systemic racism, to look to the future, and to work each day to lift each other up for collective prosperity and liberty.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz. We have 3 special guests with us tonight that I'd like to call up to the podium. We have Dr. Thelma Jackson. We have NAACP President Talana Reed. And we have one of our newest Equity Commission members, Tina Crary. If you all want to go one by one, if you want to give Dr. Jackson, like be on both sides of her, whatever you feel comfortable with. The microphone is yours, Dr. Jackson.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Thank you very much for acknowledging this holiday that comes up with the reading of that proclamation that gives somewhat of the history of how it came about. And when we think in terms of the world in which we live today, we pause just to question some of those words, even as we stood for the Pledge of Allegiance. Not so for so many people in America, and certainly not so for many, many African Americans. As we approach the 250th anniversary of this country, we have to reflect on that as well, as this nation gained its freedom from England. But so much was going on in America. And as we refer to the Declaration of Independence, which was written by slaveholders themselves, and 250 years later, we're back discussing some of those kinds of ownerships and what it all meant. Many of us African Americans consider what we're living through right now as Reconstruction too. So much is underway in efforts to undo so much of the progress that has been made over these last 250 years. And when we think in terms of the Emancipation Proclamation, that really only freed those enslaved individuals in the states that had refrained from the Union. There were many other states in the country that still had their slaves. And so there's a lot about the history that America does not understand, does not take into consideration. And when we look at what's going on in America today, with the loss of democracy, with the loss of liberty, with the loss of justice, when we think in terms of the ideals of equity, inclusion, and belonging, it's not meant for all people. And so it reflects us back to Juneteenth and what it means for this particular group of African Americans in this country. We find ourselves, again, the target of so much racism and hatred and discrimination. And we're fighting again, fights we thought we had won. We struggled to get voting rights in 1965. We're back struggling to make sure we're going to have a vote in 2026. Not just African Americans, but America in general. But certainly a lot of the extra efforts have gone into disenfranchising African Americans in this country. We concern ourselves with the lack of protection, the kinds of things that are going on. When we look at the increase in hatred and discrimination, all those things are alive and well. Racism is rampant more than ever before. And we really feel as though this country is under siege. And when we think in terms of the uprising of the white supremacy movement that now feels empowered to show its head above water, when we look at the large warehouses being acquired by our government, and we know that those large facilities can't possibly be just for the so-called illegal immigrants. We know we're on that list if that goes forward. We recognize that this MAGA movement we're under in this country is really all about making America white again. And so when we look at the cult mentality that's taken over this country, and we arrive at holidays like Juneteenth, that cause us as African Americans to reflect on where we are today, where we've come from, and what role we play in trying to help America regain its respect and dignity in the world. We work very hard when we look at the Constitution being under attack, democracy being under attack, and all of our systems of government have just been really challenged and carried in different kinds of ways. So this year, Juneteenth is coming at a very critical time in the history of this country. And we are celebrating. We are being very thankful for the rights that's happened for us, to us, and with us. And when we think in terms of where we are as a collection of the community, as this collection of the different people from all over the world. And that was a quote that someone said, and I don't really know who it was, but they said, our ancestors came on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. President Talana Reed, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jackson, for those words. Mayor Delhoff and council members and staff, thank you for this proclamation recognizing Juneteenth and for taking the time to acknowledge its significance. As the new president of the NAACP of Thurston County, I'm honored to be present for this proclamation and really appreciate those community members who recognize the importance of this day as well. Juneteenth holds a special meaning for me. I'm a descendant of enslaved people who were living in Texas on June 19th, 1865. Enslaved African Americans were finally informed that they were free, more than 2.5 years after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. For my family, Juneteenth is not simply a date in a history book. It's part of our family's history and a reminder of both the pain and resilience that shaped generations. On days where I feel like giving up or feel like things are too much, especially in this work, I remind myself of the strength it took to endure slavery and their walk to celebrate their freedom. I often read comments online questioning why communities continue to recognize Juneteenth or why we continue to talk about Black history. Some ask, why can't people just move on? Others suggest that taking time to recognize Juneteenth is unnecessary, a waste of public resources. My response is simple. No one's asking anyone to apologize for actions they did not commit. No one's asking people today to accept responsibility for decisions made by previous generations. What many of us are asking is for something much more basic. We're asking that history be told not be told only from one perspective. DEI is not the problem, racism is. We can't celebrate this country's 250th birthday without acknowledging the backs that this country was built on. Whether people are comfortable with it or not, this country was built in significant part on the labor, sacrifice, ingenuity, and perseverance of Black people. America has advanced in agriculture, science, medicine, education, technology, business, and the arts because of the brilliance of Black Americans, many of whom lived in a society that denied them equal rights, equal opportunities, and at times even their basic humanity. Some of the people whose contributions helped move this nation forward were not even permitted to walk through the front door. They couldn't attend the same schools as white people or interact freely with people solely because of the color of their skin. When people ask why we continue to discuss these issues, I think about the Black children who are still being called the N-word in our schools here locally by both adults and other students. I think about the families who continue to advocate for equal treatment and equal opportunity. I think about the work that remains to ensure that every child receives a full promise of quality basic education and the dignity that they deserve. Even though this community is free from chattel slavery, we still fight against racism and the oppression that remains. As long as children are still being subjected to racial slurs, and as long as discrimination continues to exist, I and others will continue to have these uncomfortable conversations and talk about why we celebrate Juneteenth. Juneteenth is not simply a celebration of the day enslaved people in Texas learned that they were free. It reminds us that freedom delayed is freedom denied. And it challenges us to reflect on how long justice can take to reach those who need it most. The NAACP was founded in 1909 because the rights of Black Americans were being denied. More than a century later, our organization remains necessary because the pursuit of justice, equality, and civil rights is ongoing. We've made a lot of progress, but we should not confuse that with completion. History is not valuable because it makes us comfortable. History is valuable because it teaches us. As a leader of the Thurston County branch of the NAACP, I will remain committed to working with this council and others in the community. And I implore this council not only to just proclaim it each year, but to invest in culture, invest in Blackness, invest in your community so that others feel welcome and want to stay here. Thank you to the City of Tumwater for recognizing Juneteenth and for affirming that this history matters. By taking a few moments to acknowledge its importance, you're not rewriting history, you're helping ensure that it's remembered. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, President Reed. We're going to have our Tumwater Equity Commission, Tina Crary.
Mayor Dolhoff, council members, staff.
Tina, I know you're tall for your family. If you could just lower the microphone just a little bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And my fellow residents. I want to thank the council. By issuing this proclamation, you're doing much more than just making a date on a calendar. You're giving notice to every resident that Tumwater is committed to truth, inclusion, and building a community where we all truly belong. Juneteenth is a profound, joyful, and triumphant day. Councilman Von Holtz said it very beautifully, highlighted the journey to this day. And the turning point came when General Order Number 3 was finally read in Galveston, legally restoring stolen humanity and sparking the very first Jubilee celebration. For generations, our nation has rightfully celebrated the 4th of July as the birth of American independence. But for Black Americans, Juneteenth holds that exact same sacred weight. It's our Independence Day, representing a long, resilient journey towards liberty. By placing Juneteenth firmly alongside the 4th of July in our national narrative, we aren't dividing ourselves. We are connecting the dots. We're making the story of American liberty whole. To our neighbors in Tumwater, recognizing this day builds a bridge of mutual understanding. It reminds us that our city's growth is best when it embraces the history and contributions of all its residents. This proclamation is a vital step in that direction. Thank you once again for ensuring that Juneteenth is honored, not just as a day of celebration, but a joyful, essential part of our shared American story. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Also, if you didn't hear, there was clapping outside. For those online, there was clapping in the lobby. So thank you for that support. Would you all be open for a photo, Dr. Jackson? Please don't walk away. Thank you so much. Council, you feel comfortable going down and doing a group photo? Okay. Joan, do you want to talk to us while we're walking down and doing a photo?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm deeply moved by what these three women have shared, and I want to thank you for your lives and for your witness, and just you have continued to do it in good times and bad times. And I'm hoping that what you said tonight you have written down or something. Mayor, I would like for the city of Tumwater to have these speeches if possible, and look at them or read them again or see where we are as a council and what we are not only that we're witnessing to, that we're making laws to, that we're standing for the things that they read, that they spoke tonight. I don't want this to be just another proclamation night. I want this to be a night where we reflect again on what it means to walk this walk with others, and to also remind people that under siege this year during our voting season are women's rights to vote, and that's what the SAVE Act is all about. And so women and African Americans are in dangerous places during this election time, and let's all stand together.
Thank you, Councilmember Kathy. What you didn't see while you're speaking is I made a facial gesture to our City Administrator Simmons, who made a facial gesture to Director Jason, who will then connect back with those who presented and get their speeches.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I worry about the facial gestures sometimes, but that was a good one.
You're not the only one, Councilmember Kathy. Okay, let's do a photo. As we're transitioning to the next item, we want to give a shout out to Anna Schlecht, who donated the flags that you see along Tumwater Israel Road. So shout out to Anna Schlecht. Maybe we can just get a glimpse of me giving her a shout out, and then can we just do it where replays over and over and over and over again and then send that to Anna? That would be great. Paul? Okay. We're going to circle back. That's Joan's favorite saying, circle back. We're going to circle back. We've come to a moment as I'm talking. I would like someone, you know who, to walk. Yeah, Carlos. We have a swearing in tonight of our new police chief. So I'm going to start with an intro, and then I'm going to casually, not trip, walk down. We're going to swear in, and then you're going to get pinned by your wife and your mom, which is really special. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am honored, and the council, with their support and staff, are honored to swear in our new police chief, Carlos Quiles. Can we clap? Can we clap? Is it getting uncomfortable yet for you?
Not yet.
Okay, we'll keep going. Carlos brings more than 24 and a half years of law enforcement experience, including 15 years of SWAT service, reflecting a long-standing commitment to public safety, operational excellence, and collaborative policing. He was promoted to lieutenant in 2000. I'm looking at you like you don't know this. He was promoted to lieutenant in 2008 and advanced to deputy chief on October 1, 2025. On January 3, 2026, he assumed the role of acting police chief. On June 2nd, 2026, the city council confirmed Carlos's appointment as police chief. He is joined tonight by his wife, Brittany Quiles. Brittany, you just want to, thank you. His mom, Marina Jackson, Madre. His sister, Melissa Lyle. Shout out, thank you. I know this is uncomfortable for all of you. I can see it on your face. His brother and sister-in-law, Ben and Adrian Quiles, class of 98, but we don't acknowledge that because it was class of 98. And his aunt, Gloria Hillman. Gloria. Hi. And then, Carlos, before we start and I walk down, what year did you graduate?
1990.
The worst year. The best year? 1994. Okay, let's swear you in, Carlos. We didn't plan this. I want everyone to see you. I don't want to. Okay, we'll just go back. Carlos, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Carlos Quiles,
I, Carlos Quiles,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I am duly qualified,
that I am duly qualified,
according to the Constitution of the State of Washington,
according to the Constitution of the State of Washington,
to exercise the duties
to exercise the duties
of the office of police chief,
of the office of police chief,
to which I have been appointed.
to which I have been appointed.
We should really work on this process for next time. And that I will,
And that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
thereof,
thereof,
and preserve, protect, and defend
and preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the State of Washington
the Constitution of the State of Washington
and of the United States of America.
and of the United States of America.
You might think that we're done, but we're not done. I further swear
I further swear
that I will enforce the ordinances
that I will enforce the ordinance
of the City of Tumwater
of the City of Tumwater
and the State of Washington,
and the State of Washington,
protect the life and property
protect the life and property
of its people,
of its people,
that I will diligently seek to detect crime
that I will diligently seek to detect crime
and to apprehend
and to apprehend
the perpetrators of crime,
the perpetrators of crime,
that I will be ever mindful
that I will be ever mindful
of the trust that has been placed in me
of the trust that has been placed in me
by the officials and constituents of the City of Tumwater.
by the officials and constituents of the City of Tumwater,
I will make every effort
and will make every effort
to live up to that trust.
to live up to that trust.
Congratulations. Yeah. 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 That's awesome. Yeah. So I feel like it was clunky, but it's more memorable, right? And it gives time for Brittany and Sue Madre to come up and pin you. And I would say be gentle, but I guess just, I don't know how you pin. Show some emotion here. It's fine. It's fine. You want to do family, friends? You want to do a group photo? How dare you?
Okay. No, no. So,
Yes, I know. Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, come on, family.
Yeah.
Come on, Andy. I have to take pictures. So do you.
And the family. Nice to meet you. No, family.
Hey, Mayor, can we have the Tumwater folks get a photo with the chief? There you go. Big club. I know. I know.
Okay, so next we have the county.
I think it's everybody.
It's everybody?
All the rest of all the stragglers.
save the best photo for last.
That's what I was thinking. I need to take a picture with you. Just us.
Next year. That's right. I saw your talk. The other guy.
That one.
I know.
Now, Carlos, I mean, Chief, we did all that. Would you actually like to say something?
Yeah, I would. Oh,
Whoa.
first, Lance, I think we're going to need a new microphone.
You know what? Good day, sir. Good day.
So I did prepare some remarks so that I could stay on topic and hopefully I don't get too emotional. But it'll be pretty short and sweet, and to the point, but from the heart. So Mayor Dahlhoff, members of the city council, members of our community, thank you for this opportunity to stand before you this evening. To everyone who showed up to support me, I am deeply appreciative and moved. The path to this moment has been long and meaningful. I would not be here today without the steadfast support of so many. To my wife and family, to the Tumwater Police Guild, the mayor, this council, and the many elected officials and mentors who stood beside me along the way, thank you. Your encouragement, trust, and belief in me made this day possible. It is with both great honor and deep humility that I accepted the appointment as chief of the Tumwater Police Department. This is a responsibility I do not take lightly. While I am grateful for the recognition we continue to receive, of our work and the progress we have made, any success attributed to this department belongs to the dedicated men and women who serve within it. Many of them are here tonight. They are the ones who put in the long hours, who sacrifice time with their families, and who show up every day committed to keeping Tumwater a safe community. I would like to take a moment to recognize my wife, Brittany. Her support during this transition has been unwavering despite the many sacrifices it requires. Public service is not a burden carried alone. It is shared by our families. The families of the Tumwater Police Department endure missed holidays, birthdays, and milestones so their loved ones can answer the call of duty. Their sacrifice is immeasurable, and without their support, none of us could serve as effectively as we do. To all of them, thank you. There are several other individuals who have profoundly shaped my journey. To my mom, who raised 5 children while working 2 jobs, thank you for your strength, your sacrifices, and your belief in me. And to Stephen Corliss Prohaska, who saw potential in a young U.S. Marine just beginning his path. Your guidance and support changed the course of my life. Because of you, I stand here today with a college degree, and I am forever grateful. As I step into this role, we will continue building upon the strong foundation of the Tumwater Police Department while advancing a clear vision for the future. In closing, Mayor Dahlhoff, thank you for your confidence and this opportunity to serve. Members of the council, thank you for your continued support. To the members of the Tumwater Police Department, thank you for your trust, your professionalism, and your unwavering dedication. And to my wife and family, thank you for your love, your patience, and your constant support. It is an honor of a lifetime to serve this community. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge my father-in-law, Rick Benson, my motorcycle track buddy. Thank you for allowing me. Thank you for allowing me to marry your daughter. And to Sheriff Sanders and members of his command team, thank you for showing up tonight. That means a lot. To the members of the Olympia Police Department command team that showed up, thank you. And to Director Melissa Beard for attending this evening. Appreciate you and thank you. So thank you for this opportunity. And if I missed anyone, I did not do that on purpose.
I just would like the opportunity to make you a little more uncomfortable if I can. Are there any council members that would like to say anything to our new police chief? Well, I gotta unmute your mic. Councilmember Agabi.
So, the first time I saw Chief Knowles, we were about 6-7 years ago now at the coffee shop. So, if you live in America and you look like me, you've been told don't associate or fraternize with a police officer, but that's just the way it is. So, I went into the coffee shop and he was in there with 2 other police officers. So I went there, oh, there you are. I went in there and said, how are you guys doing? At the time, I was not on city council. I was just Joe Nobody off the street. So we started talking. And then we became a buddy, and I ran for council at once. So what I'm trying to say is It is not every day that we get to give praise or kudos to our police officers, but when we do, Chief Canales stepped in at a difficult time. I am rooting for you, and I know that you're going to succeed. And I hope and pray that the city of Tonawanda continue to move forward. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Agabi. Councilmember Jefferson.
Mine is short. I'm just going to say, congratulations, job well done, Semper Fi. I'm not a Marine, but I'm saying it anyway. Congratulations.
Thank you, Councilmember Jefferson. Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz, do you want to say anything? You chair Public Health and Safety.
I just want to say congratulations and just so proud to be part of this journey. And the citizens of Tumwater are the community members of Tumwater are extremely lucky to have you and all of the police and the first responders keep doing good.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz. I see Councilmember Kathy's hand.
Yes. Carlos, I'm looking forward to getting to know you and show up the next time we have a meeting planned. And I also want to tell you that when you look at someone who has this many people come from different areas where you have touched lives, to congratulate you, you know you have a person of deep heart and of professionalism. And I'm really moved by what I've seen tonight. And I also want to tell you that I'm adding you to my prayer list.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councilmember Kathy. I also have a message from Councilmember Sullivan who sends her regards, and I almost forgot to read it. So I definitely hear about it if I didn't. So now I'm going to read her comments. Policing in the year 2026 unequivocally calls for leadership centered around equity and rooted in a deep understanding of community. To lead in 2026 calls for us to be self-aware, to be thoughtful, collaborative, courageous, and resilient. To lead our Tumwater Police Department in 2026 requires the highest level of integrity and an inherent understanding of the meaning of justice for all. In our new chief, we have found a leader who understands the true community safety is built on trust and transparency. Chief Quiles, thank you for leading the charge as we define and redefine what public safety means for our city. And thank you. I have bifocals, everyone. I got to adjust my lens. Thank you for your longstanding service to our wonderful city. Leading a police department is no small feat. It asks a lot of you and your family, which you acknowledged. We see and appreciate you, and we acknowledge the sacrifices made by you and your family. Thank you for choosing to lead, protect, and serve our community in a way that centers the dignity and humanity of all members of our community. And congratulations once again.
Thank you.
You want to do one last clap? And then they can all leave. Oh, Councilmember Whedon.
I had a whole speech written out for this. I've only been here a short period of time, but getting to know you, seeing your department, the way in which we're policing and the way in which we're going to move forward is just absolutely inspiring. Like I said, I had a whole entire speech planned out, but I'm just so excited for not only you and your family, but most importantly, the city of Tumwater. We just got a big win. So congrats, Chief.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Mayor, with your permission, may I say two more things?
Well, like, what if I said no? It'd be really awkward. You know what? I'm just not feeling it right now. It's almost 7:40. Yes, Chief, go ahead.
So three people I forgot that are really important to me that I want to acknowledge is Lieutenant Joe Walden from the Lacey Police Department, who's here, Sergeant Jason Winter from the Olympia Police Department, and a good dear friend of mine, Chief Dave Claridge from Fife Police Department. And then I know Jacob wanted to come up, the Tumwater Guild president.
That's easy to say no
I
to.
gave him 60 seconds.
I would never say no. Jacob, please, you have the floor.
I appreciate it, Mayor.
Can we start the timer, Tracy?
I'd like to thank everyone for coming. It's awesome to see this level of support for the chief. I think it really speaks volumes of the type of reputation he holds, not only just here at the city, but within our community and our law enforcement profession. And that's something that's been built over a career. It's not built overnight in this profession. So I think that really shows the level of support that he has. I'd like to thank the city administrator, the city council, and the mayor for actively including the union on this. We believe it's really important for us to have a strong stakeholder argument in who the next chief is. And so for us to be included in that conversation, we really appreciate that and value that in this relationship. We met as a union earlier this year and unanimously endorsed the chief to be the next chief for the city. And so we're glad to see that come to fruition. Even though you didn't technically have to listen to us, we do appreciate and value that. A wise mentor once told me, we can disagree on things, we just can't be disagreeable. And so myself and the chief, we won't always agree on things, but we don't have a relationship that's ever going to be disagreeable because we're both looking for the same thing. And so we do have something we'd like to present to the chief from our union to hang in his new office so he never forgets about us. Yep. Chief, so we got that for you just as a token of appreciation. The chief was a union member up until he got selected as deputy chief last year. So he was an active member in our union. It's just a way we wanted to show our appreciation or support. He's the right person for the job. We look forward to see where he's going to take the police department.
Congratulations. Now I saw Rios, you were stepping closer. Rios, would you like to say something? Well, you got closer. I mean, you should say something now. I just called you up. You should say something. Rios, come on. Just say something. Come on. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, I was right. I was Jacob's right-hand man. I'm here with the union as well as the vice president. I'd echo the support. The gratitude that we have for the city, all of you guys for including us in the process and just working so diligently to get us a great leader. He's a very dedicated leader. He's a very humble servant to the city. And like Councilmember Whedon said, this is a huge win for the city and a huge win for our department. So thank you.
Well said. Thank you. Anyone else? Last chance, Councilmember Swarthout.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. I too want to share my sentiments as well. This is such an opportunity and so great for our city, having Chief Kelis now, and it just gives us a sense of confidence and looking forward to his leadership in our community.
Thank you, Councilmember Swarthout. Any last comments? Are you sure? Think about it. Look around. Did you forget anyone else you want to acknowledge?
No, I'm getting really hot in this tie.
Did you want to share that you're going to have a new Chiefs message so everyone to check it out and to follow your Facebook page?
Oh, yeah, there is a new chief message out talking about the 11 key priorities that we're focusing on as a department. If you go to the Tumwater Police Department website, it's on there now and explains where we're going collaboratively as a group and what we value and reimagining the Tumwater Police Department to be. Really wanted to make sure that our mission and vision aligns with community expectations. And it's really centered around having everyone involved, everyone having a say.
Thank you. So we will allow a few minutes so it's not awkward. So we understand if all of you want to leave and not stay for the rest of the meeting, but I will judge you internally. Now is your time to exit stage left. And Chief, can you come get your paperwork? Thank you, everyone. Nice work.
Are you coming out?
Okay. Yeah, I'm coming.
He said he's coming. So we don't I'm so excited. Congratulations. I know.
I'll be back. Yes.
Thank you all for coming. We are going to continue with our meeting. Thank you so much. We are now to the point where literally everyone has left the room except 3 people. And we're at public comment. Tracy, what do we have?
now we're working. At this time, we will receive public comments. You may comment on items relating to city business not scheduled for public hearing. When I call your name, please come up to the podium, speak into the microphone, and state your name and contact information for the record. Each individual will be allowed 1 3-minute period to make their remarks, regardless of the number of topics they wish to address. Speakers may not comment upon, promote, advocate for, oppose, or speak against a pending initiative, ballot measure, or candidate. All comments shall be directed towards council as a whole, not individual council members, and not to members of the audience. Please refrain from disruptive behavior such as booing, hissing, audible comments, cheering, or clapping. We have nobody registered online, but we have 2 people that have signed up. And the first person is Nancy Partlow.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Nancy Partlow, 1841 Trosper Road, Southwest. Since this is the last city council meeting before July 4th, I would like to read the following in honor of our country's 250th birthday. It is a speech that was written to commemorate a battle which took place between July 1st and July 3rd, 1863. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Abraham Lincoln. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Next, we'll have Melissa Beard.
I'm glad not all these people are in here when I do this. Melissa Beard, Tumwater School Board. I'm just here to celebrate the swearing in of the chief and wanted to let you know, as a school board member, we look forward to working with him, look forward to our joint meeting in October, and just really excited to keep our community and our students safe. Thanks. Good night.
Thank you, Melissa Beard, class of 1991. Yeah, 1991.
Well, I disagree about the best class.
How dare you? Time is up.
I do agree. I do agree the worst class is 1990. I will agree with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to speak?
Okay, thank you, Tracy. Appreciate you. We're now on to our consent calendar. Does any council member like to pull an item from consent? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion, but you got to let me know so I can unmute your mic. I got a motion from Councilmember Jefferson.
Second.
Second from Councilmember Agabi. Thank you so much. Any discussion on the consent calendar items? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much. We're now on to council considerations. Oh, let me give a summary of the consent calendar. I got too excited. What was passed today by council, the consent calendar includes approval of the May 26th work session minutes, routine payment of city vouchers, and an agreement with the Washington Department of Natural Resources for forest land fire response services. Also included are several infrastructure-related items that are needed to pursue state and federal transportation funding, and that includes the X Street Roundabout and Deschutes Valley Trail projects. We also reappointed Shane Harrington and Charlie Schneider to the Board of Parks and Recreation Commission. Thank you so much. Now on to item number 7, council considerations. I see Administrator Simmons walking. Timberland Regional Library Agreement Amendment. Administrator Simmons, what do you need from council?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. If this agreement looks familiar, it's because you approved a very similar one 6 months ago. As you're aware, the city owns the building that the library works, the library is housed in. Timberland Regional Library operates the library. We have our local branch manager here tonight. We have an agreement that was expiring at the end of 2025, and at the time you all approved a 6-month extension to give us time during the transition to renegotiate the terms of the long-term agreement. As you're familiar, the city was going through a transition earlier in the year. Over the past few months, the library is also going through a transition, and we have not been able to come together to work through that agreement and what's good for both agencies long term. So we would ask if you could extend that agreement for another 6 months tonight and give us time to work together as new staffs as we chart the course for how we want to work together. And then our intent would be to bring back a new revised long-term agreement before the end of the year. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Administrator Simmons? Let me know and I can unmute your mic. Councilmember Whedon, I'm going to put all your mics as hot on the dais so that you can continue the conversation. Go ahead, Councilmember Whedon.
I don't really have a question. It's more comments. Public libraries are far more than buildings filled with books. They are places where children can discover a love of reading. Students find resources to succeed, and community members gain access to technology, information, and programs that enrich their lives. Libraries help ensure the knowledge and opportunity remain accessible to everyone. At the same time, while libraries are a pivotal part of our community, they serve a much broader population than just the city of Tumwater. As we discuss future investments in the library facility, I believe it's important that funding responsibilities reflect the regional nature of these services, and I look forward to continue to explore the partnership and funding models that fairly distribute the costs. So thank you, and I do look forward to continuing the conversation.
Councilmember Jefferson. Thank you, Councilmember Whedon.
Yes, City Administrator, why is it taking so long?
Yeah, I can answer that. So as I shared, the first 3 months of the year, we were in a period of transition, and we had a meeting scheduled to meet with the library leadership as they also, that very week, they went into a period of transition with their leadership. And so giving us time to reset and get comfortable in our new roles as we move forward. I've been in discussions with Andrea, who's the interim executive director of the Timberland Regional Library, and we think that this 6-month extension will give us time to be able to resolve it. I don't know if it will take the full 6 months, so if we can come to an agreement sooner, I think our goal would not to be to wait to the last minute, but we also know that there are competing priorities. There's lots of things coming forward, and that sometimes these discussions can take time because they have long-term implications. I'll note one last thing. The only thing that changed on the agreement that's before you tonight is the date. Everything else is the same agreement that was approved back in December, other than we just pushed it out 6 months.
I have one more question. Do they pay rent to the city?
They do not.
Okay. I just asked because, budget and following what's going on. Okay, that's all I had. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Any additional questions for Administrator Simmons? I just wanted to add a couple points before I would entertain a motion. Just some notes here, just to make it clear that Tumwater values our relationship with the library and the library community and recognizes the strong public support for library services. This extension demonstrates our commitment to maintaining those services while working collaboratively together towards a mutually beneficial long-term agreement. And that's why we just needed more time with transition so we can be thoughtful and intentional and get the right people in the room and move forward together. So that's why I would like to ask for your support to extend to December. Your mics are hot and I'd entertain a motion. Got a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz.
Second.
Oh,
Oh,
I need to say it.
I mean, go ahead.
Okay.
Good
I
practice.
move to authorize the mayor to sign the second amendment to the agreement between the city of Tumwater and Timberland Regional.
Second.
Got a mayor from Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz, a second from Councilmember Weeding. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much. Continuing forward, we have our Economic Development Quarterly Update with Assistant City Administrator Kelly Adams.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
Council, staff, and visitors. So that was a really exciting lobby. I'm sorry that you missed it because there were so many fun
Now you're just rubbing it in, Kelly.
I have had a big blue ball in my office that someone abandoned a very long time ago, and a little girl named Hadley has adopted it. So I feel there's a lot of love in this council chambers tonight.
My blue ball?
So I'm coming to you with an economic development update. We do this quarterly. I am one half of the economic development team. So I have Mr. Gene Angel here behind me in the audience. And so if we have additional questions, Gene is here as always to provide data and analysis. And so the first project that I want to update you on is the status of our Opportunity Zone application. As you can see in the graphic, there are 2 census tracts that are eligible to be submitted for Opportunity Zone. And just to remind, and for anybody joining us newly, this is a federal incentive program that is defined by census tract. We have our fingers crossed that Commerce and Governor Ferguson puts us forward. It's certified by U.S. Treasury, and the first Opportunity Zone round had a 10-year limit. This has no limits, just there are some cycles within the program. So this was submitted by Gene and some different partners here in May to the Department of Commerce. So we want to take a pause and just thank Connor Tibke and Michael Cade from the Thurston EDC. We want to thank Mike Reed at the Port of Olympia. And we want to thank Jenica Machado from the City of Olympia. So these were our partners that we sort of share some overlapping boundaries with when it comes to these census tracts. And so what you can expect is that by late September, we will have feedback and we will know. And if we hear earlier, you will be the first to know. And so the other big chunk of work that we're doing right now is the economic development element, that's a lot, of the comprehensive plan. And so recently, Gene visited the Planning Commission and presented our policy table drafts. And these are crosswalks of our current policies and our proposed policies. So where we want to go moving forward. And Dana Bowers and Sharon Labontabing in the Community Development Office have been so helpful in helping shepherd us through this process. And so we received some really positive feedback on the direction. They were very energized and excited by the things we want to do. They did give us feedback that we need to go back and plain talk more of our language in the tables. So we're working on that feedback now. And the next steps are Gene is going to reach out to the Tumwater Chamber of Commerce, the Thurston Chamber of Commerce, and the EDC to get their thoughts on these planning tables. And so our next area is our brownfield redevelopment work. And so thank you to Representative Marilyn Strickland for her support of our demolition ask. So we have requested $645,000 so that we can clean up and demolition the old boiler house. So the boiler house sits on one of the parcels that we purchased from Lot last year. So it's something that is within our control to clean up and to give some hope back into the community and to signal to developers that Tumwater is open for business. Another thing that you may see happening, so we recently signed an agreement with Pioneer Technologies Corporation. This was a shift from
Councilmember Jefferson.
Yes, so Kelly, where exactly is that location that we're gonna demolish?
Let's see if there's a laser pointer on here. It is, here's the river, and the boiler house is right about here where my hand is shakily showing you a laser.
Okay,
So if for anyone who's viewing online that can't see the laser, it is at the north end of 21 on this map. So for us, it's really a priority to get this cleaned up because it is so close to the river. And this is the location where they used to pull the whistle at 5 o'clock.
okay.
So we have a new agreement signed with Pioneer Technologies, and at the end of this month, they will begin the phase 2 assessment. So this is groundwater and soil sampling. And this will answer our question definitively and give investors and developers more of an idea of what's actually there. So creating predictability. And so business outreach. So we wanted to share with you in the last quarter some of the questions that we are asking businesses that we identify as moving away from Tumwater or closing entirely. This quarter, we have focused on food and beverage businesses. And so this is our list of questions, but we always want to know what you are curious about. And I'm going to nod my head towards Councilmember Whedon because you have special subject matter expertise in this. So as you think about this topic, please email us what you're curious about. We would love to include your questions in our exit interviews. And then I wanted to share with you what we've heard in the last quarter. So some of these items, we hear about navigating the permitting process. And this is for all agencies. Permitting education and processes and systems, this is something that we can be very helpful with. And so lastly, partnerships. Absolutely.
One second, Councilmember Jefferson, I got to turn your mic so everyone can hear you. Go ahead.
So navigating permits, what have we done to improve that process? Are we working on that now?
So I know that the Community Development Department is actively working on their permitting system and process. And when we actually run some of these feedbacks and scenarios, when we run them to ground, we find out that it's a case where folks might be failing an inspection a few times. And so it's not necessarily that there is a problem with the permitting process. There is a problem with a step in the process that we might identify. Did you want to speak to that?
Yeah, City Administrator Simmons here, and I just wanted to acknowledge that the Community Development Department is also in the process of transitioning to a new ERP technology, which will allow us to take some of our processes online. As part of that transition of the software, they're also taking a look and mapping out all of the different processes and looking for areas where we have duplication, where there may be confusion, and finding opportunities to improve that process. So
Administrator Simmons, you used the acronym, and I am making up something in my head that does not make sense. So what is that acronym?
ERP, Enterprise, that's a yes,
Platform.
Enterprise Resource Platform, which is,
I mean, that's not what I had in my head, but that sounds
yeah.
good.
It's essentially the backbone. It's the same. We use it for our financial systems, and so it's the backbone software system that our applications. This will allow us to take more of our processes online, and it will also allow us to adjust some of our long time efforts.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions on this
I
slide?
see Councilmember Kathy has her hand up.
Thank you, Mayor. Could you say again, what is this? Is this called an economic development zone? All of this that you're talking about?
So this is anytime we hear that a business is going out of business or they are moving out of Tumwater, we are pursuing an interview with that business owner. We want to learn as much as we can about why they are leaving Tumwater.
I understand that part, but going back to the beginning of the area that you showed.
The opportunity zone, is that what she's saying?
Opportunity
Opportunity zone.
opportunity zone. How do you explain that to people, what the opportunity zone is?
We describe it as a federal incentive program. It's one of the very few incentive programs that we can offer because in Washington State, we are very, very limited. And it's difficult to be competitive with economic development in other states. And so it is an investment mechanism, which is not plain talk. So let me plain talk that. It is a way to invest funds and delay capital gains tax. And as you continue investing over time, you diminish the capital gains tax that you pay on the investment.
And so we're trying to encourage people to invest in this zone. Is that part of this?
Yes, absolutely. But right now, we're just trying to actually be designated an opportunity zone with the federal government.
Councilmember Kathy, I just wanted to jump in a little bit too and just give a little overarching context. So tonight's economic development presentation that Assistant City Administrator Adams is giving is focused on a variety of economic development strategies. And this opportunity zone application is one of those strategies. So that's an application that we've submitted and have to be selected for. And so we wanted to give you an update that that's a process that we're currently going on. Kelly has moved through a couple of the different strategies through her presentation here. So the slide that we were talking about that Councilmember Jefferson's questions related to was a different economic development strategy focused on business outreach. And so these are separate but all interconnected strategies that are defining the work that we're doing within economic development. So I just wanted to provide that bigger picture context so that as Kelly moves through each of these strategies, you recognize that they're different things that we're approaching to improve economic development in Tumwater.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's helpful. Because didn't we have another zone that we did some years back of?
The Center for Excellence or something like that. That zone, right? Councilmember Kathy, the excellence?
Well, I know that we tried to, it sounds somewhat familiar as an opportunity zone or something. Anyway.
Yeah, you're tracking, Councilmember Kathy. You're correct.
Okay. Do we still have that, or is that gone? The opportunity for that opportunity zone gone, and we're offering this now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So there was an IPZ, which was it was a federal trade zone, and that program has diminished.
So there's nothing in competition or in working together in these?
No, council member, this is a unique program that doesn't compete with anything that we have currently.
Or enhance anything we already have. It stands, what you're presenting to us stands alone.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I'm thank you.
Think of it as another layer on the cake.
Okay, good. I like cake.
Back to the food reference. Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Kathy.
I didn't mean to confuse. I just.
No, you're golden. This is why we have the space to ask the questions.
I have, yeah. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Mayor.
Partnerships. So recently, Jean, you can see there right in the middle in the maroon shirt, Jean attended the City Nation Place Conference, which is attended by global attendees. It's a place to learn about regions who do placemaking very well. Think places like Philadelphia or Chicago, places where tourism is a draw, civic pride is high, perceptions are great. And so as part of a regional group, and this included the cities, the county, the port, the Visitors and Convention Bureau, folks from the private sector and the EDC. So that delegation went together to the conference and they came back with these four pillars of understanding. The first being perception. How can we raise the perception of the region? Because that is what global businesses look for. That's what site selectors look for, is the perception of the region. How can we increase civic pride? So how do we elevate how we see ourselves and experiences? How do we draw tourists into our region? And then unity. How do we align so that all of the partners have a role in this and feel positive and productive about it? So that was a wonderful opportunity that I'm so proud that Tumwater got to be part of. And so we just want to end with our 2 references to anyone who needs technical assistance or advocacy and community support. So if you need business technical assistance, please connect with Thurston EDC. We have contact information here. And as always, community and advocacy, the wonderful Ryan Reynolds and his group at the Tumwater Area Chamber of Commerce. We have this contact information here. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I see a finger up with Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz, and then I see a finger up with Councilmember Gabi. So Kelly and then Peter.
Thank you, Kelly. Great presentation. I had a question about when businesses or services leave Tumwater. Do they automatically let you know, or is that like homework that you have to be like, oh, I saw it on social media and reach out to them?
It's 40% rumor mill,
Okay.
60% Mayor Dahlhoff. So no, it really is just relying on networks. And every day we are trying to build those networks and make them more responsive. And some of the partnership work that's being done, that is helping immensely.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz. Councilmember Gabi.
So I am going to ask a very global question. So we had a presentation in this chamber by the FIFA 2026 Fan Zone. So the first kickoff happened in Seattle. I haven't left my house because I've been glued to the TV, so I don't know if there are any fan zone activities here in this area. Do you know if there has been any fan-based activities in this Tri-City area?
Yes, and I would be happy to email you the information that
Okay.
we receive.
Okay. And it has been well attended?
That is information that I will find for you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's upcoming.
It's Friday.
That's Friday? Okay,
It's
thank
Friday.
you. I haven't left my house, so I just wondered.
This is why you have the space to ask the questions, Councilmember Gabi, so it's perfect. So we have all learned something new. Thank you. And City Administrator Adams will follow up. So great question. Councilmember Jefferson.
Yes, I have a question for Mr. Gene Angel. He's just sitting there. So, you've been with us for around 3 years or 2 years, Gene?
About 9 months.
What, man? 9 months.
Both are wrong, Councilmember Jefferson.
So I have a question for you. What's your biggest challenge for the last 9 months? And give me 2 major accomplishments that you are proud of in your position.
Oof, that's on the spot. You know, I think that when I think about me personally transitioning from nonprofit role to a public sector role, that's always going to be a learning experience, right? When I think about the city as a whole, I don't really frame it in terms of challenges. I really think about it in terms of opportunity. Because really, Tumwater is at a very interesting inflection point. It used to be that people in the private sector didn't have Tumwater on their lips all the time, but now it is all the time, right? And I have seen the arc of that story change in my time here at the city of Tumwater. So it's kind of one of those situations where things happen slow and then they happen all at once.
Excellent.
Yeah. In terms of elements that I'm particularly proud of, I'm very proud of my opportunity to work with Kelly. And she's been a truly incredible mentor. And to be able to bring my networks here to the city and just sort of push that effort forward. And I truly believe that the brewery is at an interesting inflection point, and I'm very proud of that effort.
All right. So good things are happening.
Good things are happening.
Because of you.
Because of all
And your team.
All of us.
All right. Thank you, Gene.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Jefferson. Anyone else? Councilmember Whedon.
I'd just like to thank you, Jean, as well, for this update. I think it's very important and a pivotal point for all municipalities to try to reach out to not only large businesses, but small businesses as well. That opportunity zone would be huge for our city. So if there's anything I can do to continue to support that, please let me know. I'm going to put you on the spot just a little bit, and feel free to go ahead and email me back with the answer. With the last quarterly, do we know if there was a positive or a negative amount of businesses that left versus that came in? Do we know how that's all worked out? Feel free, please, feel free to go ahead and email
Wonderful
me.
question that we're currently working. We were actually just having conversations with finance and looking at all of our databases and what we get from Department of Revenue.
Yeah.
And trying to track that in and out.
Yeah.
So happy to follow up.
Okay. I just think that moving forward too, it signals out to the community that we're taking this serious and that we want your business here in Tumwater and that we are open for business and we want to be able to work with you. This state in the whole and not going down into the weeds, it could be a difficult business climate. So whatever we're able to do here in Tumwater to earn your business and bring that to Tumwater, I want to be a part of. So thank you very much for the update. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilmember Whedon. Also, don't just email that to Brandon. I think all council would like that information. So if we can tie that into another work session, another presentation as well. So email and then additional information. So I saw Councilmember Jefferson, then Councilmember Agabi. So Councilmember Jefferson.
Yes, and to caveat on that, it would be great for a report to the community on the accomplishments that you've done on Jean's 1-year anniversary, just to let everyone know, exactly, because we're doing great things. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Jefferson. Councilmember Agabi.
So my question is in general to either Kelly or Jean. So summer of last year, I used to meet with the director of EDC, Michael Cave, and at one of our sessions last summer, he had told me about a company or some entity down here by side of us that we're trying to set up what looks like a company that would take apprenticeship for high school, I believe, either people who are unable to go to high school or didn't make it to high school were setting up for this apprenticeship, and they were going to go to that program to be successful. Name is not coming to me right now. Do you know if that business ever was set up here in Tumwater?
Allow me to confer with the other half of my team.
Okay.
That could be AJAC, the AJAC program. So let us look into that for you.
Okay.
And we have quite a few emails to write to council this evening.
Thank you.
We can also maybe put it in Administrator Simmons' Friday summary, some of those
Absolutely.
elements. The one thing I wanted to add to this discussion, just to put it in perspective, appreciate all the comments and questions. And it leads to a larger discussion that staff are having about the redevelopment of Capitol Boulevard in the Brewery District, right? So staff are working on a list of all the vacant buildings, right? So I'm gonna shout it out there. I would love to meet with the owner of Falls Terrace, and I've been unable to meet with him. I'd like to introduce myself. I just started serving in January, and I'd like the opportunity to introduce myself and talk about the great things that are happening in Tumwater and how we can better support the owner of Falls Terrace. So if anyone is listening, anyone can take this clip, share it with the owner. I'd be honored, and I will make any time available to meet with the owner of Falls Terrace, because one of the things we're looking at is the vacancies in Tumwater and what does that look like? What are the gaps? What could be better? What support do they need? And having that conversation. But I need to be able to talk to you, and I'm willing to go where you're at anytime that works for you. So I just need you to give me the shot. So putting it out there first for Falls Terrace. Thank you for the update. We're going to move on to the Mayor's City Administrator's report. I'm turning on your mic, Administrator Simmons.
Thank you, Mayor Dahlhoff. Just real quick, as a reminder, offices are closed on Friday in honor of Juneteenth. That's all city offices. Also, no meeting next week. A few of you will be at the AW Association of Washington Cities Conference in Spokane, Washington. So just a reminder, no meeting next week, and all offices are closed Friday. That's it. Thank you.
Great update. The update I have is just for a battery take back. I know that Tumwater is collecting some batteries, and if you have batteries in your home or in your work, there's a battery take back event Thursday, June 18th on the Washington State Capitol steps, where Woodsy the Owl will be there. If anyone remembers Woodsy the Owl. What was that, Mayor Pro Tem?
Give a hoot, don't pollute.
Thank you so much. And Tracy, hand up. Okay. How am I just learning this just now? Okay, well, what are you doing Thursday between 11 and 4? You can come on down and say hi and bring your batteries. So I just want to share that. I think there were some social media posts. That is my update. We're going to move to council member reports. We're going to start to the right this time. Councilmember Whedon.
I will make it short and sweet. We had public health and safety this past week, where we brought the national resources for forested response presented to us by Chief Hurley. I attended today. We had the VCB, and we went ahead and moved forward with putting Shauna Stewart as promoted her from our interim CEO into a permanent position. And then I'm also got asked to go and become part of the Budget and Policy Committee. So I accepted that, and I think that's about it.
Thank you, Councilmember Whedon. Councilmember Jefferson.
Yes, mine is pretty short too, Mayor. Public Works Committee met on June 4th, and all was on the consent calendar, so I am not going to read all of them because the mayor did a great job reading them out. On June 18th, Thursday, 11 o'clock, we will discuss site lease agreement with SiriusXM, Amendment Number 5, consult agreement with HDR Engineer for the Somerset Hill Culvert Replacement Project. That is all.
Thank you, Councilmember Jefferson. Councilmember Agabi, what's good?
Well, I'm trying to see if I can recollect what we did with the opioid abatement commission. We did pass the RPF, and that has been forwarded to the county commissioners for approval. And my memory is now not too sharp from all the soccer I've been watching. I think there were maybe 7 or 6 applicants.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, very good application. So that process is moving forward. Blame it up on soccer. So on June 5th, I did attend the TPB meeting, Transportation Board meeting. And what is of note, we had a not to pack agenda. We approve the prioritization criteria and draft routing scoring for the TRPC. That's emergency detail route prioritization draft and criteria routing. And then we did the rural transit funding and services update, and then intercity traffic work and road education program. So all of this can be found at the TRPB website. Just keep it short and easy.
That's perfect, Councilmember Agabi. Great update. And finally, getting movement on the Opioid Abatement Council. That's Rockstar.
Yeah.
Thank you, Councilmember Agabi. Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz, what's good?
On June 9th, we had Public Health and Safety, where we had an update from Frankie Peters on the Thurston County District Court. Lots of great partnerships happening there with the city and District Court. And then I had Lot, where we're working on the budget. And so just really learning about all the projects and how the budget is coming together. And then on Saturday, I got to attend Dog Days of Tumwater. That's right. And what a great event. Like, all of Tumwater's events are great, but how fun to see everybody and their cute little pooches. And it was just a fun event, and the first dog was there. And so my dogs were pretty impressed to get to meet her. So it was a great event.
Thank you for acknowledging the first pug, Tumwater, Beatrice. She took a really long nap after that event, and so did I, because I was tired. Great update, Mayor from Buttholz. So I see we have Councilmember Swarhout. First she was in darkness, and now she is all lit up. Eileen, what is good? Oh, now she's gone.
Now I have a cat. So I had a grandson earlier go past to turn the light on, and now I have a cat. So I'm in California visiting grandkids. But what I have to say, we won't be having the general government meeting for June has been canceled, but it will be meeting July 15th. And as far as my duties, I attended the retreat for the intercity transit on Friday. That was an all-day retreat. And we had a chance to get an update from the different agencies about the service redesign and the current operations. They too are undergoing an ERP implementation that is just really huge for them. And so they had a lot of talk about that. And then as a board too, that we were talking about our priorities and our what we'll be working on moving forward. So that's my report.
Great update, Councilmember Swarthout. Councilmember Kathy, bring it home.
Okay. I think I maybe can handle that tonight. First of all, Orca. No, I want to start with, normally I start with, maybe I'm not able to bring it home. I usually start with the SWAC meeting, and we did not have SWAC this month. And there was an option for a field trip. And then at Orca, we passed a budget, which feels really good. You know how long those can take and all the little things and all the questions. And in the meantime, we had some new members of the committee. So it was a pretty much big business meeting and integrating some of our new people. That was the main accomplishment there. And then, getting both the warnings and way that the air and what we do when it becomes fire season. So we started to launch into that also. So be more coming on that. And then I was the representative to the RHC this past, was it last week? And that was an interesting experience for me, having been on that since the beginning of time, it feels like. And I had a long conversation with Councilmember Sullivan about where she was with some things and some questions that she had. And I'm just wondering if what was in our packet, not a packet, I still call it my packet, but from the administrator and from you, Mayor Dollhoff, who was that communicating? Who were you communicating with the RHC work?
Great question, Councilmember Kathy. Administrator Simmons is going to start.
Today, Mayor Dollhoff and I had the opportunity to participate in the meeting with the Board of County Commissioners, and we asked them to send one of the items that was on their agenda back to the RHC for further consideration. There has been a list of questions, which I shared with City Council as well as the County Board today, of unanswered questions that Councilmember Sullivan has been unable to get. And before we make the investment in the community, we wanted to make sure that we had some time to ask the questions and make sure that there's accountability with the limited resources that are going to this very critical need within our community of homeless response. I think that's all I have to add, unless Mayor Dollhoff wants to also say some words about our position and what we requested. And I guess before I hand it off, I'll also acknowledge that the board did vote to support what we requested, which was to allow time for further analysis, questions, and discussion about these issues.
Before what? allow more time for
For
answering the,
discussion and questions and answers of accountability of how the resources are being allocated and what the impact of those has been over the last year and what the goal of is the next allocation before the funds are distributed to the nonprofits that receive those funds.
Mayor, you have you're very good memory. Does this sound any different than 10 years ago?
The questions I am asking are the same questions you asked back in the day with the community investment program, right? The CIP and all that stuff, the same questions you asked, we are still asking. So I took leave from my job, went to the meeting and shared that we have questions. There's no question about the services and the work that nonprofits are providing, but we have questions about the lack of transparency, not intentional, but the depth, what services are being provided, what are we contributing to when we're noting that things are escalating in our community. So all those questions, Joan, came from you.
Years ago.
Yep.
And these questions were also some of those that were connected with how we ended up with that big split and a whole new way of doing things, supposedly.
Right. So what I went to present with is to share our support and respect and that we're present, we're engaged, identifying the complexity, but we don't need to make things complex. And things are getting complex. I have questions about how that is serving those who have different experiences in Tumwater. And I feel like we can't lead with curiosity and ask these questions without getting pushback and threats that we are harming people when that's the opposite we are doing. Then I will continue to ask questions. And these are the questions that you started over a decade ago, and additional council members who are newer to this work are still asking. So I went, and Administrator Simmons also talked. And I think it's okay to ask these questions because we are servants of these dollars and we are accountable to our community.
Mm-hmm. And we're contributing our dollars.
Right. So the bigger, if it's an issue, right, whatever the timing, whoever's timing, if there's an issue of the percentage that Tumwater is contributing and it is not coming back to Tumwater, then I think the conversation is, does Tumwater need to be part of the Regional Housing Council? I think that is a valid question. And that's where I'd like to find out, what percentage are we contributing? What percentage is coming back into Tumwater? What does that look like? Because we are seeing needs not be met. We are already contributing to the mobile outreach team. We are already contributing with the law enforcement assisted diversion team. We are contributing to all these intentional programs and projects with the county and other nonprofits with our human services fund that we keep increasing. So yeah. How are we contributing with all the work that you've been doing with Regional Housing Council, now with Councilmember Sullivan? What is coming back to Tumwater to serve those in Tumwater? We don't have an answer, and I think we should be able to ask that question and get an answer. And if they don't have the data, then a larger discussion needs to happen about, should we still contribute to the Regional Housing Council?
Gotcha. Well, it's interesting because when Councilmember Sullivan and I talked, I sort of said the same things to her because she was so frustrated. And so I took her back a decade and talked. She goes, well, that's the same thing, and which always stirs me up. And yeah, and then I went to the meeting and they were doing all this talking and whatever. And I really felt like I was back 10 years. And finally I said, I think, you know, and I think Councilmember Sullivan would agree with me that I can speak today and say, I don't think we know what our goals are here and how we distribute our money and all of that stuff. So anyway, we all ended, it's interesting, we all four of us ended up on the same page and saying the same things to the county commissioners and to the RHC. And so, yeah. I got
over from the best, Councilmember Kathy.
I got over my deja vu thing and all of my calming down. And so thank you for letting me know that we're all in it now.
We're on the same page and we're going to move forward together. Thank you, Councilmember Kathy.
This is the council, or are we just going to do it as RHC reps? And
the Board of County Commissioners is going to send the homeless services contract back to the Regional Housing Council. So how they decide that meeting, we are not holding anything up. They had rescheduled their meeting for June. It happened last week that you attended. They have some leave scheduled. That is not my concern. So however they schedule the meeting, you can still do this by July 1. So it is up to them, but we have shared and we are on the record our concern and our questions, and we are following up with some of our questions from staff. We're going to circle back with you and Councilmember Sullivan to get those additional questions. So we are not holding anything up, but these are questions that have been asked over and over and over and over again.
I saw the questions, and I just want to say I appreciate Paul, you and the mayor going and talking and creating this list. It's long overdue, and whatever I can do or stay out of, let me know.
We appreciate your support always. Thank you, Councilmember Kathy.
That's my report.
It's a great report. Any other business? Meeting adjourned 8:36. Thank you so much.